So end of last season, we did comparing the two cars. We compared the IS300 and the E39. It was awesome getting to compare the cars back to back, but there was a clear winner. And that E39 was just so good for what it was. And so, excuse me, I just could not get it out of my head. And I made a choice. That choice kind of came down to math, which I'll talk about in a sec. But the choice is, I got a BMW. And not just any BMW, I got a 330, an E46 330xi, so all-wheel drive, and it has a manual, which is something I was really missing. And one other cool fun fact about this car, in addition to being the manual 330, slick top.
Burnt top.
Burnt top, yeah. And you can see it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough. Like, all the paint's worn, it's a little beat up, got an unpainted front bumper, you know. It's definitely seen better days, and I guess that's just how I like to buy these cars. But that's kind of what I was saying. The reason why I ended up pulling the trigger is because of math. This whole car was $1,500, and we drove it here. So, which is insane. To give you guys a little perspective, we were gonna put a manual in the IS300. We didn't say so, but there were signs, as in like every single video.
Got this paperweight here.
This thing has just been sitting here.
Just getting in the way of life.
It's a CD009 out of a 350Z that we were gonna chop the bell housing off of and get a whole kit to give it manual power. Is the only thing we were missing in the car. But this transmission itself is worth $1,500, and so for the same price, we got a 5-speed with a whole car attached to it. Japanese parts are now getting pretty expensive. So that was the other part of this. Again, this car was not that expensive, and we started doing the math on parts, because it needs parts. It obviously needs parts.
No.
But they made millions of these cars. And then that engine, the M54, is in all of their cars too. So there's so many pieces for it, like just around. They're so easy to get. They're not that expensive.
Yet,
yeah. Coming from JDM world, I had no idea that it was like this. You know, for like the tuner guys who are trying to work on cars and have fun and not spend a ton of money, like we were trying to do with the IS300. It does the exact same thing. The IS300 was made to compete with this exact car, and why go for the imitator if you can go straight to the source? And it just feels like this is just kind of where the scene is going. So we thought, why not give it a try? Like, we'll put our money where our mouth is and see if it does come out, you know, cheaper and / as fun, more fun than working on JDM cars. But why not? Like, it just has presence. It's so cool. Yeah, we'll get into what it needs, but it needs a lot. We drove it 50 miles home, shaking, rattling, but even still, it felt like robust. It feels good. Like, this is a really good car that just needs a lot of love. And who better to give it love than us two weirdos? I want to kind of take you through it bumper to bumper, like create a new board, see what we need, see what it needs, and and then go from there. So welcome aboard, season 2. This is a 2002 BMW 330xi, which is the all-wheel drive 330. It has 212,000 miles on it, which is like 60K more than the IS200 did. It's still humming. It's taking a beating. I bought this from a college student, said that he used it through high school, and definitely gonna bring it back. He did love the car. He really did love the car. And
I think he loved the idea of the car.
paint is trash. This thing has lived outside, it looks like. The sun is very hot down here in the American Southwest. It just has a full roof, which is cool. Leads to just a big panel to bake and cook eggs on. We will come up with a solution for that. You know us, we like to start with what's inside. It's what's inside that counts. So we start there.
Oh, so this car has a really good personality. Okay.
That's right. Headlights completely faded, like, you know, like it's just sun-kissed. Has the black grills, which I really love. Has some pock marks, you know, it's done some highway miles, not as much as Justin's, but it's there. M-style front bumper, which is cool, but I think they got it as like an upgrade in response to losing the original front bumper to a snow berm, unpainted. You know, they never got around to like matching it to the car. So yeah, a couple of dings and dents I think from that same excursion, but nothing major. You know, nothing that's scared me away. You know, I love a little bit of paint, fading clear coat and stuff like that on the mirrors. The biggest issue for me with the body is just right back here, and I'll show B-roll of it in the sunlight, but this little panel right here just got some water, it got rusted, and the paint's bubbling. It's sad in this corner. I think that's the only rust on the car, if you can believe it. Like, we got under it, it looks pretty good. The rest of the body's still in pretty good shape. So other than that, I'm like we can work with it. For the price, we can work with it. It had a, what do you call it? Spoiler, thank you. At some point it came off, the glue didn't come off with it, stayed with me, it's cool. A couple stickers and stuff like that. Like, you know, just other than that spot, really, like, it's, you know, in a couple scrapes and dents, it's 20 years old. Like, it's fine. This is open. Yeah, the tent is super cheap. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like, it's fading. It's even worse on the driver's side, but like, the tent's failing, the glue is staying. Like, it's needs work, but fun work. So, the major issues on this car, I think, like, why I was able to get the price that I did, it came with a huge estimate from a BMW shop about what it needs, and it needs a fair bit. Front CV axles on these cars are notorious for failing, not lasting that long. In addition to that, I think what caused it are the motor mounts. The motor mounts are, I think everything's original. The motor mounts original failed, or the motor is sunk in. I think that makes the CV axles bend like this, and I think that's what causes the premature failure. All the way towards the back of the car, the rear drive shaft is pretty much disconnected. Justin can vouch for this, he drove it over here from my house. There's so much play. So I think the guibo and the center support bearing needs to be done. Hopefully that is what fixes it. It needs a new control arm on this side, so which means it's gonna get needs two. Those are kind of the big pieces, and I think that estimate was like pushing like $7,000. And we hope to show that if you do your own work and not afraid of a wrench, it's gonna cost a lot less than that. So as we do the projects, we'll show you what the estimate was and what we paid, and if we can get it done, and how annoying / hard it is, and go from there. Last thing that it needs, shows that strong. Valve cover gasket. I think the valve cover gasket is original to this car. I think it's all original. I think this thing has just been cranking for 200,000 miles, and it's really freaking tired. When you rev it just hums. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I do think there's a lot of life left in this. So valve cover gasket's a big one. You know, we've started the lo-fi maintenance playlist, and we did the Vanos, we did the cooling system. all those apply directly to this same engine. So we're just pretty much gonna do the same thing. Replace the seals in the Vanos because I'm sure they're original. Do the oil filter housing seal, coolant refresh, and system upgrade.
The time bomb. That thing.
Yes. Upgrading the water pump because that's kind of like the big bomb thing, like a plastic water pump. Those are the big pieces. And then we get to move on to more silly stuff like the interior. Okay. Oh, wait, before I even sit. The seat's all torn up. Like that's, yeah, like it needs.
It bites you.
It bites you. It's very sad. It took a lot of farts. All of the pillars, like ABC, left and right, all this is all coming off. So we're gonna learn some upholstery too.
Yeah, Joanne's.
Yeah.
Shout out Joanne's.
Yep, we're gonna be besties with Joanne by the end of this. This also works as, it's just a little faded. It needs that. This is fake imparts, the best of the best. Yeah, super light, silly. Oh, awesome. That speaker is part of the trim around it is part of the speaker itself. So replacing that, kind of re-gluing some of the
loose
leather that's come loose.
Yeah.
Other than that, like it's not in, you can't, there's a ton of parts in the back here. Didn't take those out. The rest of it is in pretty good shape. I need a new cover up here, but you can see this special piece right here that most people don't have. It's the full headliner. It is a manual slick top 330. Like, yeah, I'm so excited. I actually think it's like really cool to have an all-wheel drive straight six with a manual. Like, I can think of very few cars with that combination. Like, one jumps to mind. Maybe check out that video. But yeah, if there are any others, please let us know in the comments, because that combination seems kind of rare, and it's just wrestling my gym.
Like available in the United States. We kind of get lame cars, I've figured out. So yeah, what's a straight six manual all-wheel drive US car?
Yeah, because I'm thinking of the one, but that's a JDM car. But if there are any other ones, just in general, I'm like, what other cars had this combination? Because it's kind of like it's an uncommon setup that I'm kind of pretty into. Like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. It needs work, but it's gonna be cool. Oh. All right, so yeah, forgive me if I'm all over the place. I'm just pretty excited.
No.
I'm excited. Like this, it's cool. I've never thought about these cars.
It's a cool car.
It's so cool, even in its beat up shape. It's so cool, and Justin's E39. It just has so much presence in the modern day. I'm like, I kept looking at it like, are you kidding me? I think I inspired him to get it by getting the IS300, but then he totally judo flipped me, and now I'm like, ah!
I had no idea. I love JDM cars, but these 90s, 2000s BMWs, I don't know. Yeah. They're special.
It seems like they're special. It seems like the tide's changing a little bit. So yeah, here's the IS300's board. We pretty much did the whole thing.
All of it.
Out of it, yeah.
Every last thing.
Yeah.
Just don't look at the paint.
Yeah.
We did it all.
It did go to a new owner.
Yeah, it bye-bye.
Yeah, it went bye-bye. We're gonna miss it a lot. So many memories with that car over the year that we've had it. Great car, but I think the new owner is really gonna enjoy it, and that became the seed money to basically perform all the surgeries on this one that it needs. So
yeah.
So this is ending. Getting rid of all this. Probably should have seen how hard this was going to be before I started it.
Doing it raw. Everyone's waiting. Everyone's watching. And done.
I don't know. We're in German world now.
Du hast.
Das du. I don't
Das.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, CV axles. Then we need the motor mounts.
Your cars always have lists.
I know, yeah. You're just like, I need this one thing, and then you do it, and then we move on with life. I'm like, okay, you ready for another saga? Then we need to do the Guibo.
Oh.
Oh! Hey, guess That's your mother with that mouth. Cut.
So whoa.
Control arms, bushings, top cover gasket, fan house again, cooling system. Then, oh yeah, the suspension on this, ancient. I'm pretty sure the suspension's original. It's crazy tired. Doing something with the suspension, doing something with the windows and the tent.
The longer list.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I should have wrote smaller. Dealing with the seat.
We have stereo.
Yeah, we could do stereo.
Gear shifter.
Oh yeah, that shifter. Yeah, shift knob.
Rust.
Thank you.
Headlights.
Thank you.
Side marker lights. Paint. Tires.
Hold on.
Wheels. Chrome trim.
Like side markers. Wait, what? Slow down. Yeah, you don't like the chrome trim, huh?
It's icky.
It doesn't match anything else on the car.
No.
So figuring out a solution for that chrome trim will be nice. Yeah, so here's like necessary to get this car back on the road, and then kind of like our fun wish list of things we want to do after we get this thing feeling pretty good. Yeah, this is season 2, baby. We're gonna try being Beamer boys for a bit and see see how that works out. Yeah, please, like, let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, hang out, and take care, I guess. This is it, man. The end of the era, the end of the IS300 era. I love this car so much. This has been such an awesome first step in the channel, and like, you know, so indicative of like what we're trying to do, and it was so fun to work on and kind of get to this condition, and I think the new seller is gonna really love it, hopefully as much as I do, because like it just has so much presence and poise, and it's ready for another 100K. I'm like, could not be happier with this car. And that blue, I'm gonna miss that blue. I'm gonna miss this face. Oh man, like I love them. So yeah, cheers to it. And yeah.